these are some of those assets that go with the initial onboarding and education and the short term right after it. Speak to what those things are. Are there lots of versions of these things?
There's lots of versions because not every builder is the same. Not every builder is getting the same program, the same package. We don't really have a cookie cutter system, a cookie cutter program. So we're really developing each of these on our partners' needs.
Yep.
But creating those battle cards, both the builder facing and the customer facing, as a resource.
So what's the process like when you work with a builder on that? I mean, is there a lot of back and forth? Are you working with their communications teams to integrate the message and customize and such?
We are, and we are also learning, we learn how their organization best communicates.
Yeah.
Like what is their path today, and how can we best utilize these assets to fit in with their current process. We don't want to have you create and learn a whole new process.
Yeah, so I think this takes us back to that integrator selection bubble, which is, does the integrator have the communication capacity, right? If you're working with an integrator where there's not a communications person to be found, there's a bunch of technicians and a lead design engineering, you're not likely to get this sort of collaboration to really communicate with the consumers.
Well,
I would say, I'm not trying to shill for ADT. There's a lot of other integrators that have this capability, but it's I think a blind spot for some of the builders to not be looking for this skill set, this competency within their integrator partners, because you're not going to get these materials developed the right way otherwise, are you?
Well, and it's not only that, but this material, these pieces, and our communication styles, we understand the importance that when we're in the field, when we're customer facing with both our partners and with our homeowners, that we're representing not only our brand, but we're representing your brand, especially with those homeowners.
Yep.
That they've purchased a house from this builder, it comes with this technology, it was installed by ADT.
Yep.
What questions do they have? What type of training experience did they have, and what's this ongoing support after that? That's going to affect your brand as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether you've got like a picture of this from a metrics perspective, but what I see happening is that there's a big burst of activity around the delivery of the home, and it's not just that moment of delivery, and it's not just physical, but maybe it's a 2-month window. And if that's done right, then these self-serve assets are self-serve. If it's not done right, it's a lot of non-self-serve sort of assistance and a lot of agitation. I mean, is that how it flows in best case scenario? You've got these assets, you got to recognize that people are going to forget stuff, or the household's going to change and somebody else is going to need to be trained on that system. But if you have that burst of activity, and then you have those assets in place, they'll be used the right way, and you won't have agita, as my people say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So is that it? I'm going to go back to my my bubbles. Sorry. Quiet out there. Does anyone have questions for us? Ken Peterson, you always have questions. Shout them out.
So somebody has their system, they're in the home for 6 months, and they want to expand, like a DR work package. What's the process for expanding cameras, switches? Do they call you?
So they have information that's already preloaded on their panel that drives them directly where they need to go. We try to make it as simple as possible for them.
Who else has questions? Come on, I know it's early. We could wait them out.
No, I don't think we should.
This is like the unsexy part of home technology, but if you don't get it right, then everything else you did in advance doesn't matter because you're going to get crappy net promoter scores and people are going to be dissatisfied. And we're trying as an industry, it's the crazy ant in the basement is what I've described this as, is the level of utilization and system satisfaction. We're trying to do better, but you got to kind of drive it too, because you own that customer too. And
Well, the hard thing for a builder is they don't know what they don't know.
yeah,
So if you haven't gone through this process before and you're going in blind,
yeah,
don't try to figure it out yourself. Don't try to create these processes by yourself.
Yeah.
Learn from integrators that have gone through this process, that have noodled out some of the bugs, and lean on us for that.
Yep.